Yeah, yeah. One more time around.
Who is the most famous actress you can think of?
Actress, Drew Barrymore.
Okay. If Drew Barrymore was in a movie with a male co-star that nobody had heard of, would it be fair to pay them the same salary?
No,
Why not?
because he's not like known of, and because he didn't like work to be famous like she did.
Okay. Since Drew is the star of the movie, won't she bring more people to the theater than her co-star?
Yes.
Okay, that's called star power. How is that different than the gender pay gap?
Oh, that's a loaded one. Like for women or for like?
Well, I mean, the WNBA complains about not being paid the same to the NBA, and they don't generate as much revenue. So, I mean, isn't that kind of like the same thing?
I feel like the WNBA isn't promoted as much as the NBA because they are women.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't a male co-star that no one's ever heard of not be promoted as much and not be able to?
Yeah, I guess.
So is that?
Maybe, sure.
I mean, wouldn't it have more to do with performance than discrimination?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't ready.
See?
I don't know.
You're right about that one, but I just feel like
if they both doing the same job, they deserve the same pay. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but at the same time, you know, then why would someone want to star in their movie?
I mean,
what would be the benefit of having a celebrity in your movie if they weren't gonna, you know, bring more people to the theater?
I mean,
right. That makes sense, but
I mean, they're both doing the same job, but don't they have different value to the project?
Yeah, but I feel like
you're right.
So shouldn't their pay, you know, reflect the value that they're bringing to the movie?
Yeah.
Yo, so in all honesty, that's the best thing that he could have said the way he said it. It should pertain to the value that the individual can add to the situation. And that's what should dictate how much you get paid. And I think that's the biggest delusion of women. I think women don't want to accept the fact that we're different. We're different and we have different value, and we bring a whole list of different portions of value when we do things. Not that women can't do what we do, but there's shit that we can do that they can't do, and they can't even stomach to do the shit. Like, women just don't have the stomach to do some of these jobs that men are doing right now every day, 12 to 15 hours a day. And I think that when these women be getting up barking, oh, equal pay, it's like, no. It should be equal pay because we're not bringing an equal mindset. We're not bringing an equal balance of emotions. We're not bringing an equal a number of things. What you think about it, Tony?
I'm going to point out there's like 3 different levels of thinking throughout this little process. What you led with, we'll go with that level 1. The fact that men and women are different. Our mentalities and our capabilities are different. So we just have different skill sets and different strengths that we can bring to a certain situation. And that's a very individual role. Then we go to the, let's go to normal employee status. When you're talking about how women just can't stomach certain things, back at my former place, the females, the females, primarily the single mothers, they weren't built to actually work those long hours. And because it was a position where you couldn't get off unless you got properly relieved. And they always want to throw up their kids. I even got grown men want to whine about their kids. I'm like, you sound like these single mothers, dog. But it's like no, but it's like men can tolerate it a little bit more. Yeah, we got a lot of bitching going on nowadays, but it's like men are built to endure, where women typically are not. And they want to freaking, when they talk about that equal pay thing, they want to talk about the equal pay when it comes to the nice air-conditioned office jobs. What about that? You want to make a 50-50 split of women representation. Okay, why aren't a whole bunch of women signing up to work in the sewers and work in the streets? If you want that 50-50 cut, you need to put the women in there where they're getting their hands dirty and building bricks and freaking possibly die by falling off skyscrapers like men. But you only hear women arguing for those jobs. Then lastly, the last thing about the star power, That's entertainment. The person who is the most entertaining person is going to get the bigger cut. I like to use this example when people like to whine about taxes so much. Not saying that that's a different argument, but it's like when people get mad about people getting paid more in taxes. Okay, let's look at a manager. Okay, there's a manager. He's managing both Dave Chappelle and Carrot Top. Dave Chappelle is obviously going to get the bigger draw in.
Sure.
Therefore, the manager is going to get the bigger cut from Dave Chappelle versus Carrot Top, and that's because of the star power. And the same thing applies, because equality applies when it comes to the men and women in actress roles. So if you got, I don't know what female comedian,
Monique.
or somebody, huh?
Monique.
Well, Monique. I remember when he was whining about that crap about Dave Chappelle. Monique, Sweetie, Sister Girl, whatever the fuck. You ain't Dave Chappelle. You just ain't. If people are going to come to see Dave Chappelle way more than Monique, and that's the same thing when it comes to the WNBA. People want to see. It's not exactly that they're men. It's just that men are better athletes than women typically. I mean, I remember seeing LeBron James. I don't know. He just beasted his way through the damn hole. Just bow, 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 bow. I was like, oh, that was an amazing thing. But it's like, and then you got the females that that soccer chick. I don't know. She's some soccer lesbian. She wants to do all that crap, and she's mad. Huh? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, she's mad about women aren't getting paid more, and then come to find out, when it comes to the percentage, remember that whole percentage game? They actually make a bigger percentage from their revenue cut than the male soccer players. So technically, you are getting paid more. So you even still got a bigger cut. But guess what? You're not going to draw on the numbers. People, generally speaking, and that's including women. Imagine that, because women make up half the population, right? Half the population of women don't even want to see women play sports. You gotta eat that. You gotta eat that.
Yeah, one more time around.